Well, hi guys, we're down at Dick Lovett again to collect the Ferrari Speciale, which is already looking really smart on a Friday morning. Thought we'd just give you a quick tour. We've been round the car before. We came down a couple of weeks ago, just after Topaz had done the film cover on the car, and it's looking absolutely fantastic. I'll just let you go round it for a second, Chris, shall I? And, now, as you probably know, the Speciale is the sport special version of the 458, but there's been quite a number of changes to it. So as you can see, the front is completely different in that we have the blue Nart stripe coming down the bonnet and the air intakes set into the bonnet line, which I think looks absolutely wonderful. The Nart stripes are actually painted onto the car rather than being a sticker of some description, and I think they lend a certain gravitas to the machine. In many ways, although the body is very similar to the 458, this car really excels in a way that adds technological assistance to the driver to allow the driver to actually be able to control the slippage on the car. So it has side slip angle control. And what this does is it takes various inputs from the steering wheel input to the throttle input to allow you, as you're powering out of a corner, to actually slip the car to an extent which, you know, really only racing drivers would be able to do, but as an individual it will allow slippage to get the maximum performance coming out of the corner. And it's one of the major pieces of sophistication in this car. The brakes are taken straight from the LaFerrari, almost unchanged, so they're unbelievably powerful, obviously ceramic, as you can probably see from the pictures at the moment. And then there are various modifications to the car that allow the air to be distributed around the car to give maximum downforce or cooling to the radiators as required. So Ferrari call this active aerodynamics. So if you see at the front, obviously we have the normal air intakes for the car that go to the radiators. But at a certain speed, which I believe to be 106 miles an hour, so clearly not in this country, we have the flaps here which open up to provide extra downforce to the front of the car. And then at 137.5 miles an hour, I believe, there is it's a horizontal bar here which sits below the emblem, the horse emblem, which actually allows air to channel all the way through to the back of the car to provide extra downforce to the rear. So both these go back, and then this horizontal bar here moves down. Then you can obviously see you have channels for the air around the side to maximise the aerodynamics of the car. And even the headlamp washers, as I suppose is the case with a lot of cars these days, are actually set into the bumper so we have as clean an airflow process as possible. Then we have the wing at the side, which also provides extra aerodynamics for the car. You can see that the wheels themselves, they're extra light. I think they have shaved about 12 kilograms off the overall weight of the car. Overall, it's 90 kilograms lighter than the 458. Brings it down to 1395, fully loaded. So that's with fuel and oils. At the back, you can see we have the grills at the back, and we have grills underneath the the side windows here, all to maximise the amount of air distribution. Coming round to the back, we have the mesh grille at the rear, which is completely unique to the Speciale. And if we come down here, you can see by removing the 3 central exhaust systems that's standard on the 458 and putting them to the side, they've managed to redesign a completely new rear. So, as I was saying, the major difference at the back between this and the 458 is the 3 pipes from the centre have actually been replaced by 2 pipes on either side of the diffuser, and the complete redesign of a completely different diffusing system to allow the channeling of air. Now under here you can see you've got flaps. Now these flaps are part of the active aerodynamic package that effectively open up at 120, 130 miles an hour to provide additional downforce at the rear. So that combined with the horizontal flap at the front actually keeps this car incredibly well planted. And you've probably read some of the reports from Autocar and Evo magazine where last year this car was their car of the year, and they said that throughout the entire speed process this car was as well planted as anything they'd come across, and probably the most exciting car ever to grace our roads. Okay, I've opened up the flap, the engine flap. Now, as I said to you in one of the videos I did before, it's incredibly light. They've used the 50% reduction in the thickness of the glass. There is no weight there at all. It's carbon fibre. I think probably the Ferrari sign here weighs as much as the actual opening itself. And then you can see the engine is by and large all carbon fibre. I think absolute work of art. Nobody but Ferrari make engines that look as good as this. The engine produces 605 horsepower. It's 35 up on the standard 458, but also the torque has increased significantly as well, and the torque actually allows power throughout the rev range. So you have full torque available at 6,000 revs. The engine itself revs all the way to 9,000. And there are various other changes. Chris is going to do a technical review of the engine on the next video we do, so we'll look much more at a detailed analysis of how they've managed to produce so much. And one of the things Chris will concentrate a little bit on is the compression ratio, which I'm not going to try and explain here, but basically it's a world-class leading compression ratio for a naturally aspirated car at 14:1. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. There are advantages and disadvantages of having a high compression ratio, of course. It does require you to have super unleaded fuel, 98 octane if you can get it, although that, as you probably know, that's difficult in this country. Okay, so I'm going to close it up. Chris, you happy?
Yep.
Okay. Again, we'll do a further video of the inside of the car, I think, at a later stage, and we did focus a little bit on the inside the last time we were down here, when we came down here to look at the film protection. So we'll do a little bit in terms of showing the inside. Very driver-centric, as I think I mentioned before. Aluminium plates on the floor, which replace the standard 458 carpeting and soundproofing. Although, as I think I mentioned, I'm actually ordered carpets for there, so I'm able to take them out and brush them. Alcantara carpets. Again, it's Alcantara and carbon fibre almost exclusively throughout the inside of the cabin. Sports seats, I'll show you if I can, there we are, Alcantara and fibre covering for the seats, but they're carbon fibre seats, as you can see, which all adds to the maximising the weight loss on the car. Full harness seat belts, which I think is appropriate in this type of machine. Again, dashboard is Alcantara and carbon fibre. So a beautiful environment, and again, we'll do a photo shoot on the inside and show you all the controls and how the car operates. And Chris and I are going to today actually take it out and give it a run. We're not actually picking the car up today. The car is being delivered to my house by transporter on Monday. But Chris and I will do a quick review of the inside whilst we're taking it round the block today. I'm very much looking forward to that. Okay, I think for the moment I'm going to sign off. There's a bit of paperwork to do, but it is very exciting actually getting so close to actually having the car at home and being able to start planning all the trips we've got organised for it. All right, thanks guys.